Yes, I finally made the state representative team. While my team did not win first place, I still was called up to get into the state representative team and even went to nationals. In the state level tournament, my team placed fourth. And yes, it was not the best performance, but individually, I had one of the best performances ever for me personally. And in the semifinal against the team that won the whole thing, Tsunami is their name, I peaked. I was causing them trouble left, right, and center. No matter where I was in the court, I was causing trouble. Where it was as a backcourt spiker or as a front row blocker or spiker, I was causing them trouble everywhere. I really have posted most of the clips of that match, and even they all started following me from it because it was a really good match. And yes, we placed fourth and we went home, and it was like, oh, it's fine. It's my first tournament, like state level, high level tournament. It's fine. I can always come back next year to play better. And that was my thought. Like, yes, I have seen that there's levels to this, and I have a really high level, but there's always room for improvement. So I thought I wasn't out of it. But like less than a week later, my coach just comes up to me and he's like, yo, the coach from the state representative team, the one that won the whole thing, wants you in their team. Because you were blocking them so much and doing everything right against them that they want you to play for them in the national, in not really the nationals, but the state level and regionals and like the next step of the whole tournament. And that's how I made the team, because I was doing the things right. I was blocking, spiking, and doing things right against them. I performed. And that's my recommendation to you. Double down and do what you know what to do. In the tournament, I was playing focused on doing what I know how to do. One of my weaknesses, getting vulnerable here, is my receiving. I'm not the best at receiving. I'm not the best at reading the spiker or the server to see where the ball is going. So I just left that behind me and focused on what I did know how to do, which was blocking and spiking, seeing the block and moving the ball out of the way of the block. And that's why I performed so well against Tsunami, because I doubled down on what I knew how to do and did not focus on, oh, I don't know how to receive. What if the ball comes to me? Will I panic? No, I didn't even think about it. I just let my team take care of that side, because my team did have my back in receiving. And I just performed, did exactly what I knew how to do, which was blocking and spiking. And that's exactly what you need to do. You need to double down on what you know how to do. You need to not consider your weaknesses that much as weaknesses, you know? Because yes, while it's a part that you could work through, it'll always be more valuable to improve what you're already good at rather than what you're bad at. Let's say for example, in my case, my defense is at 3 out of 10. It'll be more valuable to improve my 8 out of 10 spiking and blocking to a 9 out of 10 rather than upgrading my 3 out of 10 receiving to a 5 out of 10. In most situations, if your weakness is horrible compared to your strengths, you should go harder on training your strengths, not training your weaknesses, because the better you become at something, it means that there's a point from where you won't drop, but you will also not peak that above it that much. And there will be balance between them. And that's the level where you should perform usually. And that's why you need to train your strengths, because if you keep your strengths at that level, you'll always perform at that level. If your strength, let's keep using me as an example, your spiking is at 8 out of 10, you will usually spike a 7, 8, or 9 out of 10 rather than, oh, my receiving is at 3 out of 10. let me train it to a 5. I'm still performing at 4 or even another 3 out of 10 receive. Because that will just keep you feeling bad. And that happened to me. Getting even more vulnerable here. At Nationals, I had already gone through everything. I went through all the hard stuff. I presented myself at Nationals with the state representative team. I was focusing no longer on what I knew how to do, but rather on what I didn't know how to do. And that's what really just messed me up completely. In Nationals, I did not perform. If my spikes are usually a 7, 8, 9 out of 10, in Nationals they were a 3. And you would think, oh, but if you were focusing on receiving, then your receiving should have gone from a 3 to a 7 or an 8. No, my receiving was even worse. My receiving is usually a 3 or 4 out of 10. It went to a 2 or even a 1. I was not receiving anything. I was not spiking anything. And then you would think, oh, but then you kept up your blocks. Let me tell you, I did not, because I was just focused on, okay, I'ma do what the coach says, I'ma focus on my weaknesses, and just focus on receiving. Receiving is easy. I can do this. I did not do it. But that's what I processed in that moment, and I was like, okay, I need to upgrade my receiving right now. My weakness is pulling me out of the game. I need to upgrade that right now. And that did not help me at all. I only went from a, let's say, a 7 out of 10 player to a 4 out of 10 or even a 3 out of 10 player. And honestly, we lost at Nationals because I did not perform at the level that I should have, because I was not focused. I was not doing what I did when I played against Tsunami. When I played against Tsunami, I focused on, okay, I don't know how to receive. I will focus on doing what I know how to do. I won't try to get better randomly in the middle of a tournament. And that's why I performed against Tsunami. But when I was with Tsunami playing in the state representative team, I focused on upgrading my weaknesses mid-tournament. And that's what made me not perform. But I'm still at state representative level, and I have understood that lesson now. You have to double down on what you know how to do, because it'll always be more valuable to upgrade your strengths rather than upgrading your weaknesses. It's better to get a 8 out of 10 strength to a 9 out of 10 strength rather than a 3 out of 10 weakness to a 5 out of 10 weakness. It'll always be more valuable as an athlete to upgrade your strengths. Most athletes will stay average because they don't focus on doing what they know how to do. They rather focus on doing or upgrading or improving their weaknesses rather than doubling down on their strengths. But the athletes that actually become pro, or the ones that you see performing constantly in high level tournaments, are the ones that have made that switch, that they know and they do focus on what they know how to do rather than in the middle of a tournament focusing on doing better at their weaknesses. And that's why they perform at the high level. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.